Leni Benye Odile Loko. Esiku Dede Asikuyi. Hello everyone, it's Adirunke again. I hope your day is going well. Today, I'd like to discuss another Aroko. In the video that I made, in which I introduced what Aroko is, I gave some examples here and there, but I would like to really start a set of videos. I'd like to really start the series officially. So if you've not seen the video and you don't know what Aroko is, I encourage you to start from there, to watch that video and have a very good understanding. But at the very basic level, it's symbolic communication. I don't want to go too much because if I say any more, I would be repeating the video that I've already made. But if you've not seen it, please do. What does the Lari mean? Or the Larun? What does it mean symbolically? First, let's break these words down so that we know what they mean. We use this comb to part our hair. Ila irun, when you break the word down into pieces, the I there is a noun maker and it is the thing that is used to. La is what it is, but because it's introducing the word that comes next, the tone will change. I've not really paid enough attention to teaching instances where the tones of words will change. I would have to get there. But la is the word. However, it may change. The tone has changed here because of the word that comes after la, as if you're changing the tone so that you can answer a question or you can give more detail. I'll talk about it when I get to the respective video, to the respective part of my teaching. La is to divide or part. Irun is hair. Irun you can break down as well. The run hair is similar to the run in orun or orirun. So I don't think there's a way that I can talk about irun without wanting to mention the significance and the importance and some taboos and things like that. So I would have to devote a video to discussing irun, by breaking it down into the parts, into the noun maker and the verb, and then giving more detail. So I don't want to do that, but it's hair. Irun is hair. The thing that is used to part the hair. So very literally, this name relates to the purpose that we use it for. Ilarun. If you call it Ilari, it's also correct. The I there is the thing that is used to la. Is divide or part. Ri is to see or find. The thing that is used to part in order to see, and we use it to part our hair. Indeed, in order to see the scalp, when you hold the comb and you want to see the scalp, there's a way that you work with it and then you part the hair and then you see the scalp. If you're familiar with the word Ilari in a different context, in the context of messengers, especially messengers of an influential person, typically a king, you are correct as well. They are the people who walk in front of the king to protect and guard and announce. So it is until they part before you can see the king. So that's a different context. And that is when it would be a title. So don't think, but Ilari is messenger. This is another Ilari. What do you use it for? Because these also matter in how we would interpret the symbolic message that this item holds. The women would typically, and the men too, by the way, it was during European colonization that it was frowned upon. I don't know what it was like before, because when you think of, the slave trade era and things like that, I don't know if perhaps the men who had braids, I don't know how they were treated or what the opinion was, but it was during colonization and, the moment when schools started to be built, and they started to teach. Mungo Park discovered the River Niger and they started to teach British education, so to say, not sincere, unbiased education, information that would favor them, that would favor the colonialists, It was during that era that they really started to frown upon hair braiding. So if you were a boy and you wore braids, of course, they would tell you to take it off. They made it seem like something unbecoming, as if it will make you less masculine. Not just in Nigeria, I believe every other region where Native Americans will tell you the same thing. The first thing that they did when they started to go to their schools, their boarding schools, when they forced them into those boarding schools, was cut their hair. So I don't know what the European obsession is with hair, but we have our own stories regarding hair. A lot of our boys don't even know anything about that. They just think ladies braid their hair and men don't. But if you study history, the very clear ancestor that a lot of people honor today is Shango. Shango always wore braids, and a lot of his descendants wore. And even till now, I don't think this is a conspiracy. It's pretty clear across the board. All you need to do is attend one festival, and you will see a man with braids. So, but for some reason, there's still this, oh, you must be a bad boy if you wear braids. So, but again, that's a different discussion. What do you use it for? The ilaru or ilari. You use it to take down your braids. You also use it to part the hair for new braids. What does it mean when you send this to somebody, or you use this as a form of communication with somebody? It means that something that was planned can no longer be. So you're taking something down, just like you take your hair down with it, and then a new plan has to be made. If that makes sense to you. You use it to take down your hair. You also use it to make new hair. Something that was planned, something that was made, can no longer be. You're taking it down. A new one has to be made instead. It represents separation. It can represent division. It can be a representation of an end of something or a change in something. But these are the meanings that it could have, and you will be quite surprised that a lot of our ancestors communicated this way. Let's say you had planned with somebody that you were going to meet with them at a particular location at a certain time, and you don't think you can make it. Let's say they're your lover or something. You might even be with your parent that really shouldn't know that you have a relationship with the other person. You can walk past their house and put this in your hair. Instantly they would know that what it means is they shouldn't even bother to come out tonight because you can't make it. You won't be there. There's a change of plans. If you send it to somebody, same thing. It's typically clearer when you've already said something, or when you have a relationship of some kind, or when you had a discussion regarding doing something or something like that. If you just send this to a random person that you've never met or you don't know, or they will just think it is a gift. They will, or even somebody that you know that you have a relationship with, but you've not necessarily made any plans with. They would, in that case, just assume that it is a gift because it doesn't apply. It feels like a gift in that situation. If you had a discussion, or you plan to do something, or you plan to say something, or you plan to meet somewhere, or you had an agreement, or something was supposed to take place and you send this, or you wear this, you'd let them see this somehow, then it means that has ended and perhaps a new plan would be made. If you look at the comb, you will realize that there are two openings, that there's a split and there are two openings, and so it would represent these things. So for anybody who has ever wondered if combs are in any way, shape or form symbolic or significant to the Yoruba culture, you'll be quite surprised at what you find when you start to dig. If I'm to interpret what this represents, I would say it's the end of an era and the beginning of a new one, the end of something and the beginning of a new something. Also, even for battles, if you see this in battle prepared like it is, pretty sure many people would not be attending that battle in the first place. But if you see something like this, it represents division in the enemy's camp. It depends anyway, because that's not the one meaning, but what it most likely would represent, depending on the way that the item has been prepared, because at this point it's no longer just a comb, it's now a charm, or what, I don't know, talisman, or all these English words that come with their own connotations. That's why I don't like to use them. But it may represent division. So there are some battles that you would fight that you don't even have to exert too much energy if you have the right tools, so to say. It is the attackers that would fight themselves. You wouldn't even have to, they would fight themselves to the death. So it's like you're causing confusion or division among them. When they see one another, they would look like enemies to one another, so they would attack one another. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. And I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your day, and bye for now.
Irun tata iye mọ̀jà wàrà àpò jẹ́lẹ́ jẹ́lódò iye mi aṣọ gbogbo ayò ọ̀rọ̀ nílé oníyà kúyè mọ̀jà dòde ẹ̀pọ̀ ògùn ìrorò iye mọ̀jà ìyá mi eléri ọ̀fọwọ́ mérí o òkun akí mọ̀ọ́rin o iye mi aṣọ gbogbo ayò ọ̀rọ̀ nílé oníyà kú mọ̀jà fẹ́rí wa kú kátó pọ̀ ọba wá. Ye mọ̀jà ọ̀rá àbọ̀.